Hey Darnell Dolphins, it's Miss De Silva here. Thank you so much for joining me for another weekly lesson. We're going to keep talking about empathy and compassion. That's been the theme that we've had the last week or so, and that's going to be our focus, especially during the month of January. But my hope is that it will always be a focus of yours of how to show empathy and compassion towards others and also towards yourself. So, if you are watching this with your class, then this might be something that your teachers want to stop and have you share. But um, I want to know, how are you feeling right now? What's closest to your mood and energy level? Are you feeling excited and frustrated, excited and happy, calm and happy, calm and gloomy, or do you not want to answer? Um, I put two feelings together here because I have to say that most of the time I think I'm experiencing more than one feeling, and it always helps me to at least label that and know how I'm feeling in that moment and maybe why, and just try to do something to feel my best and feel uh, calm and happy as much as possible, which is not always possible, but as much as I can. So, what do you think empathy means? We've talked about this many times, and I know that you've learned about it, but I keep having to ask you because I just want to make sure that you have a true understanding. So you can pause and share this with your class. So this image kind of gives you a good idea of thinking about what empathy might look like. Um, Empathy is when you're experiencing another person's feelings as your own. So it doesn't mean that you've gone through or have to have gone through the same experience as another person, but you're really trying your best to understand how that other person is feeling emotionally and what they're going through. When you feel empathy, you are imagining what it's like to be someone else. You're looking at the world from their point of view and you're trying to understand what they're thinking and how they're feeling. And then we have this word compassion, and they have a lot in common with each other, but it's a little different. Compassion is when those feelings and thoughts that we just talked about that are involved with empathy also include the desire to really help that person. So, compassion is when you're acting on empathy. Not only are you imagining what it's like to be in that person's shoes and how really thinking about how they might be feeling, but you want to do something about it to help them out, to help them feel better and feel their best. So, compassion means a feeling of sharing the suffering of others that leads to a desire to help. So, if we decide to act on empathy, then we can say and do things that help another person feel better. So, for example, you could ask, what can I do to help you? A really simple question, right? But a lot of the time we end up in situations where we're not really sure what to do. Maybe our friend or family member is really upset or angry and we know what's going on, but we kind of freeze because honestly, we don't know what to do. How can we help a person in that time or in that situation? If you've ever felt that way, then you're not alone. But it's important to know that you can ask people, what can I do to help you? How can I be of help to you? How can I help you feel better? So that's a lot different than just saying, don't worry, everything's going to be okay, right? You It's important that we acknowledge and we think about how it's okay that other people have these emotions, just like it's okay if we have them. But we want to do our best to help them out. So, since we're on this topic, let's watch a video that really shows a good example of empathy and compassion.
It's been said that friends are the family you choose. They're the ones who stand by your side when you need it most. In tonight's Making a Difference report, a lesson in friendship from two people who can't really be called old friends. At Central Elementary in Union, Missouri, the best teachers may just be two students.
Hi, Mr. Camera.
They are both individually incredible.
First graders Vincent Butterfield and Zach Gossage are very good friends and often very silly.
Why does the chicken cross the playground?
Why?
To get to the other slide.
But recently, there wasn't a lot to laugh about.
It was terrifying.
Last June, after feeling ill and tired for weeks, Zach was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia, a fast-growing cancer of the white blood cells.
As a parent, you want to make sure that nothing bad ever happens to your child, and when something does, you want to be able to fix it. And I couldn't.
Still, while everybody around him took it hard, Zach took it in stride. Despite frequent trips to the hospital, he almost never missed a day of school.
Because I get to play with Vincent outside at recess.
As for Vincent, he started asking questions and learning about cancer.
It's when your white blood cell and your red blood cell fight.
Then he learned that Zach's treatments were expensive.
We had been making these scarves just like this. And he just kind of said it would be cool if we could make a whole bunch of these and sell them.
He sold more than 20, earning a couple of $100. You raised $200? That's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and who did you give it to?
Zach.
Vincent also found out that Zach might lose his hair because of the chemotherapy treatments.
I have a dream.
So one day he showed up to Mrs. Kester's first grade class wearing a stocking cap.
And he said, Mrs. Kester, I have a surprise for Zach. And I said, well, you do? And he said, yes, I do. And he pulls off his stocking cap, and here I see that he shaved his head.
I cut it off.
You cut off your hair? How come?
To make Zach feel like he's not the only one without any hair.
Come on in.
Zach continues to get treatments and continues to come to school every day.
He comes in and you say, how are you? And he says, fine.
And Vincent, well, he may be young, but he's teaching us the oldest lessons. What is friendship? What is friendship?
A beautiful thing.
Indeed it is.
Hi.
Clearly, wisdom doesn't always come with age.
Okay, let's go.
Here's the best news about this story. Zach is now in remission. Though he does not have visible cancer cells in his body, he will continue to take chemotherapy treatments for 2 more years. A reminder, if you know of a unique story of someone making a difference, let me know by email at mbush@ksdk.com.
All right, well, hopefully you enjoyed that cute video. I think that if kids that young can teach us that much about empathy and compassion, then we are definitely capable of it. Being a little bit older and having a better understanding of how we can do that, right? So maybe you can take a moment and share out with your class or just reflect on this and think about it. Why do you think that it's important to show empathy and compassion to those around you? Why is this even something that I'm talking about? And why is it important? I will go ahead and share my answer. Uh, I know that I experience lots of different things in my life and different emotions and feelings about those experiences. And it's important for me a lot of the time that I have someone there that can help me out. And I'm fortunate that I have friends and I have family, and they're able to be there for me. And I love it when they can be there, be that person for me. So it's just as important that I'm there for other people, since I know how important it is to me. So when I'm having a difficult day, there's someone there to help me out. When others are having difficulty with something, I need to be there for them too, because we all deserve that. So, my last question for you is, after all this discussion about empathy and compassion, how confident are you in your ability to show empathy and compassion toward those around you? Are you still not confident, very confident, somewhat confident, or do you not feel like answering? All right. Well, that's all I have for you today. All right. Well, thanks to all of you for joining me for another lesson. I always appreciate you tuning in, and hopefully you learned something or you're inspired to go and do some type of act of compassion towards a friend or a family member after watching this. All right. I'll see you next time.